Hi, it's Joe, and we're in Module 7 this week talking about how the board assesses itself, how it establishes term limits, how it refreshes itself, and how we recruit new board members and how we choose which new board members to recruit. So I've provided a fair amount of content in Module 7, both in terms of the textbook, but also in terms of some links to some content that will be helpful to you. I wanted to just give a brief background about a couple top line topics, starting, I guess, with board recruitment. So one of the issues in any nonprofit, as we've talked about, is that the board brings work, wealth, and wisdom in various measures to an organization. And I think it's fair to take a look at the board and individual board members in terms of what they bring and what's needed to append to the current board to make sure that you do have work, wealth, and wisdom on the board. Work are obviously board members who are eager to be involved in, for example, the programmatic aspects of the organization, as well as, for example, the financial management of the organization. Uh, Wisdom is, we hope, all board members who bring their unique perspective, either as service recipients themselves or people who have expertise like legal or financial investment, or for that matter, board governance that the staff itself doesn't have. And wealth is another important component. As we've talked about, all board members need to be fundraisers, but we also know from research that the 1% represent a dramatically disproportionate part of nonprofit fundraising. And for that reason, we need to be diligent to reach out and identify those people either on the board or within our service population or known to the board who can join our board not just because they have capacity, but because they have capacity to give and also have a desire to advance the mission. So all three of those areas are important to board recruitment. In terms of who specifically we recruit to the board, I always look at what skills the board needs: strategic planning, financial management, legal advice, accounting, programmatic skills that supplement and complement the expertise of the staff, and then recruit to that. In terms of board self-assessment, my experience has been that the board chair, in conjunction with the executive director, does seek to do an annual evaluation of each board member to see how they're performing, how they're enjoying their job, whether they're contributing, whether they're making their annual contribution, their annual stretch contribution to the organization, and whether or not they're helping to advance the mission of the organization. The board members, like staff members, should be reviewed annually. That may be a really foreign concept, but it's also really important. The the other issue is how you recruit board members. And uh, I've come from, or I've lived in other cities, worked in nonprofits in other cities where there was a more elaborate system of resources available to recruit board members. I've found fewer in Los Angeles, but that doesn't mean there are none. The Center for Nonprofit Management here in Los Angeles has resources that help to recruit board members. There are maybe not countless, but many web sites for nonprofit employment that also includes opportunities for board engagements. So Idealist, Cal Nonprofits. There are obviously your board members who know people who might be interested. And cultivating a board member is very much like cultivating a donor. You have to talk with them, understand their interests, understand how that aligns with the organization's interests and needs, and then actually make the ask of them to join the board. Another resource that is very popular on the East Coast and is here on the West Coast as well is Junior League. Junior League trains, specifically has a task of training mostly young women, but not exclusively, to join boards and to be board leaders. And my experience in working with women who have come through Junior League board training is that they're exceptional leaders and eager to be members of the board and eager to make a difference. So another resource. This week we're talking in our discussion about criteria by which the board evaluates itself. I'm eager to see, as always, a robust discussion about that topic so that we're defining metrics by which we can measure the board's effectiveness in aggregate and individually. And of course, if you have questions, I will try my best to answer them. I hope now that you're continuing to work toward your final assignment, beginning to outline the recommendations that you'll be making in the area of fundraising, finance, legal responsibilities, adherence thereto, as well as ED evaluation, and now board self-evaluation and recruitment. I suspect this particular topic, board evaluation, could be a rich opportunity for offering suggestions to our organization. Thanks very much. Have a good week. I look forward to seeing your comments.